here we are complaining about the power being out for 3 hours. It's like, are people just that dumb now we can't cope without not having power? It's like you don't know what to do. You should have stuff where you could still do things without, if you've got a barbecue outside, go cook out there or something. But then I'm thinking to myself, how many countries still around the world where people do not have electricity?
Oh, and the thing is, I could maybe understand if the power kept dropping out on hot days or whatever through no other reason because...
We just haven't upgraded systems and stuff. Yeah, that you can get mad about because the money we pay and stuff, they shouldn't. Because they're talking about closing down some of these big coal-fired power stations now, and if they did, I think one of them they want to close down the other day. That's where 80% of the power was coming from.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be able to handle the load. But no, just if something like a thing happens, like a storm and that, and okay, a tree knocks a power line down. Okay, it's inconvenient, but they've got to come fix it. But it's not the end of the world just because you can't charge your phone and get on Facebook or something or whatever. Oh, what's this? I've got to actually play a board game with the kids or something. Oh.
No, those winds,
go for a walk.
Like that was like a hell scenario. Like really, well down here it was like such strong winds.
Well, I saw it coming because I had some clothes on the line. I said to Rachel, maybe we should bring them in. She's like, it's not going to rain. And then I took the bins out, and the clouds had come so much closer. And as the clouds got a bit more closer, whoosh, the wind come first. The lightning started. So
no, that's what I mean. It was like completely.
But then you have to think billions of dollars worth of weather gear, and they didn't see that coming. But yet they got. If I go on my phone now, they're telling me what the weather's going to be 2 weeks from now. No, you couldn't even tell me that storm was coming tomorrow.
Well, when you're editing, but this is a bit of a segue. I follow this page where they do like weather reports and whatever, and they shared a post from Craig Kelly. He's an MP and he's sort of against the climate cult. And he's posted the Bureau of Meteorology's rain forecast for November and compared it to the actual. So it's a really good picture. It's a colour map so you can see the difference. And they predicted it was going to rain heaps and it was dry. And his thing is, these guys couldn't predict the rain from 60 days. So how on earth
they're going to tell us in the future, a couple of years from now?
Yeah.
Remember when that thing came out with Al Gore, The Unconventional Truth?
Yeah.
People have gone back and dissected everything that he said. If everything that happened that he said, so many places would be underwater now. There would have been. So, it's like none of it happened. It's like you can't. Yeah, it said there is climate change because the climate has been changing since the dawn of time. It changes. It's always going to change. Whether we help it along or not, who's to say? Or whether, who knows? We could have just, if we weren't here, it'd probably be doing the exact same thing. The small percentage that we, heard it, I don't think it's anywhere near it. I think we cause more of a problem with pollution, like plastic in the ocean and rubbish going down the drains. I see that more of a problem than
100%
climate changing type stuff. Whereas, putting chemicals in the ground, that's more of a problem I'd be looking at rather than worrying about. Remember we had when there's the hole in the ozone layer, we're all going to die, we're going to fry up because of the ozone layer. But now a lot of scientists have said that hole's repaired itself.
Yeah,
so I think, it's just...
We stopped the thing that was causing it. But I think the issue they've got is they're saying it's carbon dioxide that's the issue. And there's been more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere in the periods over time. There's another fella that goes...
Look how well plants grow when there's more carbon dioxide. And the thing is too, it's always funny when they talk about all the stuff that's man-made. It's like I said, I'd be more worried about our pollution than actual stuff going in the air and stuff, because I think, the world's a wonderful thing. I think it can fix itself and right itself, and maybe it does cause problems like disease and that to kick a few people off. It's like Mother Nature's like, all right, time to get rid of a few million people here. Let's cause an earthquake or have a tsunami somewhere and wipe a few of you people out.
But this guy was saying to get carbon dioxide, I think it's like 400 particles per whatever. But then to get it higher than that, you've got to pump so much more into the atmosphere. So what they're saying with coal, everyone thinks coal's this terrible, dirty thing. But now they've got the plants that they scrub the exhaust from it.
Yeah. Those ones they got in China now, they're almost zero pollution because it goes through some heating system and then it burns it up. So pretty much the stuff coming out the top's just steam. It's just like vapor.
They let out carbon dioxide, but all the pollutants, like all the
they got rid of it all.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not that much of a scientist, but I've heard very educated and esteemed scientists say with the thing with to get it past that limit, it's been higher than that in the past from natural things, but the higher carbon dioxide's actually going to green the planet, and then it'll actually suck more carbon in.
I think when all this stuff happened, climate change and this and that, and buying all these offset carbon. Well, it's all just a money-making fucking scheme. That's all it was they were starting to tax things and doing carbon credits for big businesses and all this sort of shit. It's all just bloody money-making garbage. And
oh, look.
Then you fly on a plane there, you can tick the box if you want to offset your carbon. What if I pay an extra $10, that gets rid of my carbon from the exhaust of the plane, does it? And all this bullshit. I'm like, come on, someone's making money here.
No, I just think like...
But it's like I said, the weather too. I saw the other day, it was like Monday through Friday. Sunny, had the sun thing out. Yeah. And then the next day I looked, had one sun, 3 clouds, and then 2 thunderstorms. I'm like, well, shit, did that change that quick now? And then you look again the next day, the storm one's gone, they're back to a sunny. I know. But yet they bring out that almanac where they say, 2 weeks from now, on December 25th, Christmas Day is going to be a very hot day. Come Christmas Day, it's pouring down rain.
Yeah. No. I
What's that old thing they used to have about the weather rock? Remember that?
Yeah. If it's wet.
Yeah, if it's wet, it's raining, and if it's dry, if it's not there, it's windy. If you can't find the rock, it's blown away, it's windy. That's pretty much how you stick your head out the window each day.
But like another thing I think about it is, they always tell you, like people think global warming's real because they always tell you how hot it is.
But when it's cold, they never tell you.
Well, what I was going to say is, I can't remember the exact area.
Did you see Tasmania had snow yesterday?
Yeah, well, that's like they say things like, that was the hottest November on record.
Yeah.
But I remember in November, it got down to 13 degrees. It was the coldest day, coldest temperature they'd recorded.
But when it goes cold, it doesn't fit their agenda. Because even sometime this year too, they had a couple of cold days and there was snow even. Remember in a couple of places that snowed early. This has been the coldest day and most snow they've had on record. So I'm thinking, well, one minute you're telling us we're all going to burn up and we're getting hotter and hotter, but then a couple of months beforehand you said it was the coldest days ever, and we've had snow that we've never had snow at this time of year before. So that's just, again, climate changing, but we're not going into the burning side. It's like, okay, we will have hot days, but then we have these extremely cold days, so it's all balancing out. If it just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and then say next winter it was 30 degrees for the whole of winter, no snow at all, then next year 35, okay, we're warming up. Yeah. We've got no winters anymore. But yes, okay, it's summer. I remember when I was young, we had a lot of days in summer when it was like 45 and super bloody hot, and then a couple of other summers after that it might have only been 40, and then it would, next year or two later, it would go, like I said, it's just like these cycles. It just, the world's been doing that forever and ever and ever. It just comes and goes in cycles, and then they would give it names. El Nino.
La Nina.
Yeah, and all this crap on it.
El Paso. No, there's pages on there that they forecast the weather based on how the planets align and things like that, and sunspots.
The tides and
that they're using.
Those solar flares.
Yeah, and when you think about it, like we're this ball and we've got this massive sun that gives us all our light, and heat, so you think, well, that's going to have some sort of impact on where
and I think they said too, like people always think too, you go in that beautiful circle.
Yeah.
But they said even though we're going around and that, we're not in a circle, it's more like a football shape sometimes. Yeah. So even though you're going around, sometimes some certain years you're a bit closer than you were, and sometimes you're a bit further away.
Exactly.
So it's not like this complete exact circle all the time we're on. So sometimes you're here, you might be coming around here this year.
Yeah,
Next year you're coming around, you're this closer to it. So even like I said, you think a couple of 1,000 miles closer in the shed, it's going to, like you said, you're going to feel it.
Well, that's my argument. It's like, are the people that are using, high pressure systems and things like that to forecast weather, do they have any idea about where the planets are and, is Jupiter blocking the sun or something? I don't know. I don't know, but I know these guys...
Like you said, look how many... Was it a couple of years ago, not long ago, when they had those solar flares and it screwed up all the electricity and stuff? So who's to say, okay, you're going to say next January it's going to be this hot, but then just say come into December we get some massive solar flares that fucking does whatever, and that changes the whole thing again. It's like you can might have a rough guess at stuff, but that's all it is really guessing.
Yeah.
You can't really tell like I said, you can say it's going to be sunny tomorrow, then you go to bed tonight and you wake up tomorrow and it's bloody thunderstorm. I thought because it just changes like the weather.
Yeah. Oh, well, following these planet guys, they're posting the cold, like snow records, cold, whatever. And they're saying we're heading for a mini ice age.
A few have said that. And it's funny too, have you noticed when all this stuff happens, you talk to farmers, they've said, look, we've had drier than this, we've had wetter than this, we've had hotter than this. Or you talk to those people that are fishermen, that the whole families, generations, like 6, 7 generations, like hundreds of years of generations have been living there on the river. And they can say the house is in the same spot. The water hasn't risen at all. If anything, the water's actually gone down sometimes and it comes up. If there's a major flood or something, maybe it rises up a bit, but it's like, according to them, they've lived there for hundreds of years, or say like 200 years, their house isn't underwater. The fucking dock's still in the same place where it was. The jetty hasn't gone underwater. There's no rising in the tides.
But just hold on a sec.
We're going to get